It is another summer-like day across central and eastern Kentucky. We'll track some more 80s and the threat for some thunderstorms just ahead.
Governor Matt Bevin claims the previous administration coerced employees into making political contributions. He also says the Attorney General benefited from that money.
It's a big day in the Big Apple, how New York is playing an important role in the presidential nomination process for the first time in decades.
WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
The former head of the state personnel cabinet under former Governor Steve Beshear has pleaded guilty to a bribery charge. Tim Longmire was accused of using his job as Secretary of the Personnel Cabinet in a conspiracy that involved bribery, money laundering, and more than $200,000 in kickbacks. This afternoon, he admitted in federal court in Lexington to using his influence to steer contracts to a public relations firm in 2014 and 2015. Longmire faces up to 10 years in prison. We'll have reaction to his guilty plea on WKYT News at 5. Today, Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin announced he's launching an investigation into what he calls questionable activities in the administration of former Governor Steve Beshear. Bevin says his office has discovered evidence of potential criminal wrongdoing. But Steve Beshear says the accusations, in his words, have absolutely no basis in truth. WKYT's Victor Puente is live at the state capitol with our top story at 4. Victor?
Well, Governor Matt Bevin claims the previous administration oversaw some questionable and possibly illegal activity. He also named the former governor's son, the current attorney general, in those claims. During this morning's press conference, Bevin announced an investigation that will be overseen by the Secretary of the state's Finance and Administration Cabinet. Bevin said the investigation is needed because of evidence of irregularities his administration found since he's been in office. The biggest of those is the claim that under the Beshear administration, state employees were coerced into donating money to Democratic candidates and campaigns, including the campaign of Andy Beshear, the Attorney General. He says the contributions were spearheaded by the former Secretary of the Personnel Cabinet, Tim Longmire. Longmire pleaded guilty earlier today to federal bribery charges. Bevin also claims a no-bid contract for $3 million awarded to a North Carolina company on the last day Beshear was in office benefited the husband of Beshear's Secretary of the Cabinet, who was a consultant for that company. Bevin said the investigation into each of these claims would be made as public as the law will allow.
This sort of thing is not only wrong, but if in fact it is true, it is illegal. It warrants thorough investigation and exposure in any cabinet where it may have occurred, and punishment where that is warranted. These practices will not be tolerated at all in this administration.
Attorney General Andy Beshear released a statement regarding the Longmire claims, saying, quote, United States Attorney Kerry Harvey has definitively stated to the public and the press that there was no involvement by me or my office. The sworn affidavit in that case also found that there was no knowledge by any campaign related to any contributions. Beshear also said his campaign was waiting for a routine audit. He said any excess money would go to a government watchdog organization. Live in Frankfort, Victor Puente, WKYT.
In a statement, former Governor Steve Beshear said the claims are an effort by Bevin to distract the public from his attack on health care. Beshear also said there was never any attempt to pressure employees to make political contributions. Well, we have another summer-like day across the Bluegrass. Here's a live look at one of our sky cams in downtown Lexington, where it's in the low 80s right now. But we're in for some changes this week, including a chance of rain. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has a first look at the forecast. Chris?
You know, it's absolutely gorgeous out there, but it is a little dry, so some rain would do us good as we get into later this week and toward the weekend, maybe not so good. We'll see how that goes toward the end of the week right now. I'm just seeing scattered stuff. Looking outside right now, beautiful sky across all of central and eastern Kentucky. Fighting, as expected, a little more cloud cover today compared to yesterday, but the temperatures very similar. 82 degrees, humidity is bone dry again, 26%. Winds are coming at us at around 7 miles an hour. 80 to 85 in much of the region. Yet again this afternoon, stringing together back-to-back 80-plus days across the Commonwealth. Clouds early, beginning to thin out now, so more in the way of some sunshine this afternoon into the early part of the evening. Though, look to our west, area of low pressure along a cold front, slowly trying to bring some rains our way. Most of that waits until we get into the final day of the week, into Thursday night and Friday especially. Summer temperatures roll on. We'll track that storm chance when I come back in a few minutes in a 7-day forecast that Jennifer will have even bigger changes in it as we go into next week. That's in 15 minutes.
We'll see you then, Chris. A man who served as the director of one of Kentucky's most popular music events now admits to committing a crime. Robert Lawson pleaded guilty today to stealing money during his time as the head of the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame. But it appears he will not spend any more time behind bars. Lawson will undergo a diversion program to have the felony theft charges wiped from his record. He'll have to pay back the nearly $30,000 he stole from organizations. We'll have new details from court on WKYT News at 5:30. Part of a central Kentucky road was shut down for hours following a crash. This morning, a semi hauling new Mercedes SUVs overturned on Highway 32 West near the Berry community. Harrison County Sheriff's deputies say the semi was headed toward I-75 when the crash happened. Police believe an animal ran onto the road and the driver swerved, causing the semi to overturn. Our reporters are working on a number of other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick joins us from the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Jennifer. Friends and coworkers continue to remember a Lexington cardiologist who was killed while riding his bicycle. The Bourbon County coroner says that Dr. David Cassidy was hit by an SUV on Sunday while riding on Lexington Road in Paris. The doctor died at the scene. State police say the crash was an accident. Cassidy's friends say he was an avid cyclist. Millward Funeral Home is handling arrangements for Dr. Cassidy. A date and time for his funeral service have not yet been announced. And coming up on WKYT News at 5:30, you'll hear from Dr. Cassidy's son about the deadly crash. Kentucky's largest solar energy facility is almost finished. Today we're getting a look at LG&E and Kentucky Utilities' E.W. Brown Generation Station in Mercer County. Once it's complete, the station will produce enough energy to power 1,500 homes. While that's a smaller station than facilities in other parts of the country, officials say it is a step into the future.
We were looking at going into some community solars as well as some industrial and commercial solar projects. So we're kind of looking at a smaller scale right now. Again, just trying to learn what we're going to do with this project here.
We'll have more on when the solar energy facility will be fully operational ahead on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. That's a quick look at some of the news in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thank you, Sam. Now to a story making headlines across the nation at 4. For the first time in decades, New York's presidential primary matters, and frontrunners Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton hope hometown ties will help them bring in much-needed victories. Diane Gallagher looks at what's at stake in today's New York primary.
New York is on the clock. After 2 weeks of campaigning, complete with a debate, town halls, plenty of controversy, and, of course, food.
Fabulous cheesecake.
It's now in the hands of the Empire State voters, 2 of whom lead the race for their party's nominations.
Who are you voting for?
Easy decision.
Donald Trump, dominating in the polls of New York's likely Republicans, cast his vote in Manhattan Tuesday morning. The real estate mogul reflecting on how it feels to check Trump in a presidential primary.
It was a great honor, really. Who would have thought? This was just a great honor, and I think it's a great honor for New York. New York is a special place.
New York's adopted daughter, Hillary Clinton, and her husband, the former president, completed their civic duty in Chappaqua.
It feels great, and I am so excited about both campaigning here in New York, voting here in New York, and I love New York.
And Democratic polls show the state seems to love its former senator back. Clinton is up by double digits in recent polls on the Brooklyn-born Bernie Sanders, who took to the streets Tuesday.
Morning, sir.
Mingling in Midtown, trying to sway last-minute voters.
We're feeling very good.
But even with 247 Democratic and 95 GOP delegates at stake today, Republican candidates John Kasich
We'll probably get some delegates.
and Ted Cruz
Maryland is a battleground.
are already looking ahead to the 5 states voting 1 week from today. In Washington, Diane Gallagher.
CVS is launching new curbside pickup service. That tops today's WKYT Money Watch. The company says customers will be able to order items with a mobile app and have them delivered right to their vehicle. CVS Express will not cost any extra. The retailer also says orders will be ready within roughly an hour. The service is available immediately at stores in California, North Carolina, and Georgia, and will be at most other U.S. locations by the end of the year. Customers still have to pick up prescription drugs inside the store or at a drive-thru. GameStop, the video game retailer with nearly 7,000 stores, will begin distributing and marketing its own games. The first release, Song of the Deep, follows a girl's underwater search for her father. It comes out July 12th. YouTube will begin live streaming 360-degree video. 360 gives users a full view of big moments of things such as sporting events and musical festivals. YouTube has already tested 360 views, such as Steph Curry's warm-ups, but never live video. Users can put the new live view to use this weekend when YouTube Live streams some Coachella Music Festival performances in 360. It's estimated 2 of every 3 Americans have a smartphone. Sunday's 60 Minutes revealed how hackers can get into your phone, allowing them to access the camera and microphone. Kenneth Craig has ways to protect yourself and your privacy.
Is everything hackable?
Yes.
A group of tech experts showed 60 Minutes reporter Sharon Alfonsi how a hacker can get into your smartphone. Tech expert John Herring sent her a text with an attachment that contained malware.
You're in business.
Then Herring called from San Francisco and proved the hack worked.
You installed some malware in your device that's broadcasting your video from your phone.
My phone's not even lit up.
I understand, yeah.
The segment touched a nerve across the country. Herring is the co-founder of the mobile security firm Lookout. The company's app monitors smartphones for malware. After Sunday's story aired, traffic on Lookout's website doubled, slowing down the company's servers.
A sign that your phone may be infected is if it's using a lot of battery power. Also, make sure to check your text and phone logs to make sure a hacker isn't using your number.
Experts say it's important to keep hackers out of your phone in the first place. So don't click on questionable links and make sure you only download apps from a trusted app store.
Exercise some basic caution.
CNET's Dan Ackerman says there are a number of downloadable apps similar to Lookout that can detect malware on your phone.
You can have them, scan everything on your phone, once a day or once a week, or when something changes.
That can help make sure the only person using your phone is you. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
Time for better living, health, education, and consumer. New research finds children who have same-sex parents have no significant clinical or social differences from those with different-sex parents. The research took a look at partner relationships and parent-child relationships, as well as the children's general health, emotional difficulties, coping skills, and learning behavior. The study found no differences in family relationships or child outcomes. However, same-sex parents reported more parenting stress. Diet Coke fans may soon feel more like they're drinking the real thing. Coca-Cola says it's giving cans and bottles of its flagship sodas a makeover, with plans to unify the appearance of regular Coke, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, and Coke Life. Coke says it's still testing its options and no changes are planned for this year. The change is intended to strengthen the Coke name and maximize advertising dollars rather than treating Diet Coke and Coke Zero as separate brands. JetBlue is making it easier for weary travelers to take a quick nap before takeoff. The airline unveiled 4 JetNap Energy Pods in its terminal at JFK Airport in New York City. When nap time is over, the chair wakes the traveler up with a combination of lights, music, and vibrations. Passengers will be able to snooze in the pods for free for 20 minutes. JetBlue says the goal is to give flyers the chance to recharge. Now let's over to Chris, and it's another summer-like afternoon in the Bluegrass.
Yeah, don't sleep on today's weather. You get it? All right, never mind. Bad joke. We are looking outside, and it is gorgeous across the area. Beautiful conditions, a little bit of high cloud cover out there today. Who cares? It's in the low 80s across the region. 82 popular right now. Jackson, London, Frankfurt, Lexington, everybody with those temperatures for the second day in a row hitting 80 degrees or better. There is a decent chance, Jennifer, we do it again tomorrow, right around 80 degrees.
But you'll be tracking some rain as well.
Yeah, it could be an isolated shower or thunderstorm. Best chances move back just a little bit into Thursday and Friday. We'll show you that when I come back in a few.
All right. We're glad you're with us on WKYT. The news is just getting started. Here's Sam Dick and Amber Philpott with what's ahead at 4:30.